So back in 2022, I got diagnosed with one of the rarest vascular disorder ever recorded, and I was given months left to live. And for months, I would live in that fear that I am going to die soon. And one day, I remember I decided that I wasn't ready to die. And I started diving into neuroscience and neuroplasticity and guided meditations and neuroscience technique to try to help me. And I remember vividly the first things that I worked on, that I did, was to dissociate myself from the disease. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but people often, when they are sick, they are saying, for example, my diabetes, my cancer, my arthritis. And I was also doing that, saying my condition, my health issues, my disease. And in my head, when I was sick, it was like the disease and I were just one. And when I started dissociating myself from the disease, it was like, okay, it's something else that is happening to me, but it's not my identity. And I remember that it was months of work to dissociate myself from the disease and just rebuild my identity outside of that disease. And not like, okay, I am sick, that's my identity, my disease is my identity, is part of my identity. And once, after months of work, once I was able to separate those two things, I started getting better and better, and my health would improve, and I would stop thinking in my head all the time about that disease, and just rebuilding my identity and the things that I love to do, and my patience and all of that. And ultimately, even though I did many things to finally heal from that, the biggest things was definitely at the start to dissociate myself and my identity from the disease. And that was the biggest and most difficult, yes, yet important shift I did during my healing process, definitely. And it's actually something that is backed by neuroscience. Of course, I am not an expert or anything like this, but my biggest advice would be, if you are suffering from a very difficult health condition, is to start to dissociate yourself and your identity from the disease.